consent frameworks, liability allocation, and trusted data sharing. Indeed, the future of finance promises agility and more responsiveness. So in the next phase of digital finance, trust will not be built only at the branch or banking hall. It will be built through data systems, identity systems, and the integrity of the technologies behind financial services. Artificial intelligence, AI. AI can sharpen supervision, helping regulators detect risk and misconduct earlier than before. But it also introduces model risk, algorithm bias, and new categories of systemic vulnerability. Deploying AI in supervision, for example, without robust governance is not innovation, not at all. It is a different kind of systemic exposure. Digital identity and consent management infrastructure. Financial access cannot scale without also exposing. Cross-border data flows also demand similar attention. A regulation must protect data sovereignty without blocking responsible data sharing on which innovation depends. So how do we move from policy to execution? Across Africa, we do not lack ideas, and I made that point strongly yesterday. We do not lack the frameworks, nor do we lack the pilots. We have these in abundance. The harder question is how we move from controlled experimentation to scaled and regulated deployment. Now, regulatory sandboxes have served a purpose, but they must become bridges to real market entry. The measure of a sandbox is not how many firms are admitted into it, but how many sound, well-governed institutions do graduate into productive participation in the regulated market. Development finance and private capital must support shared infrastructure, identity systems, payment rails, and data exchange protocols. And these public good characteristics demand investment models that benefit the ecosystem, not only individual firms. Institutions must also collaborate more deliberately across borders. And regulatory coordination, co-supervision, and joint enforcement are not distant aspirations. They are indeed requirements for managing a financial system that already operates without regard to national boundaries. In other words, policy matters. However, execution is where policy proves itself. So again, let me tell you a bit about what we are doing at the Bank of Ghana.